And now it's time for everyone's favourite car, the Mini, and Ken Gibson has been to try out the new one.
Excuse my rather sombre dress, but I've come to pay my last respects to a very famous friend. I've come to Longbridge, home of the Mini for the last 41 years, to go and see the very, very last Mini roll off the production lines. It was a little car that was started as an answer to the fuel crisis, but the car that revolutionised motoring and went on to become the car of the century.
The easiest way to win a bet of this sort is to make a car that is so unusual compared with all the other cars around it that it automatically becomes a status symbol.
What few people know or remember is the Mini wasn't actually called the Mini when it was first launched in '59. It had two names, the Austin 7 and the Morris Mini Minor. Another piece of Mini folklore is the fact that it was designed by Sir Alec Isagonis on the back of a paper cloth napkin and a cigarette packet. To find out about the special magic of the Mini, we've come to Longbridge, home of the great little car for the last 41 years. And of course, who better to tell us why it's been such a special car than the workers who've been putting it together all over that time. And I've got somebody here who is perfectly equipped to give the story, because Alan Loach actually started in 1959 when the car was actually launched. Alan, what were you doing when you first started here?
I was a tea boy making tea and running and fetching various bits and pieces from the stores for the various people who were working here.
And tell me, can you remember what the salary was you got back then?
£2, 12 shillings and sixpence a week.
Mike Hewitt, what do you have as your memories of the Mini?
Well, I think it's a great little car, but it's a bit of a pig to work on. I mean, we've all still got the scars to prove that point.
How do you think it's going to be on, when the Mini is gone? How will you feel?
Oh, well, it'll be a tragic day for Longbridge and Birmingham. We've all been brought up with it for 20 odd years. Great family car, and I think every household or somebody in the household has owned a Mini during their lifetime.
Well, when I was younger, I had one myself, and it was probably one of the best little cars I've ever had in my lifetime. And it's been an enduring model, obviously. It's lasted over 40 years, and it's a special little car.
So Jeff, here we have the very last Mini, number 5387-862.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
Well, like most people associated with the Mini here, we feel sad, but also extremely proud of the fact that we produced this car, this British motoring legend, for the last 41 years at Longbridge. And all I can say to anybody who wants to emulate what we've done, we're a hard act to follow.
I have to say, it's absolutely years since I've been in a Mini. And the first thing that hits you is just how tight it is in here for space. I don't know who they thought the 4 adults were that would get in here, but we definitely must be growing now, because it is seriously cramped in here. I'm in the performance one, and, well, to be frank, on a motorway, the performance is distinctly average. But there again, the Mini was not made for motorways. It was made for having absolutely hoots of fun driving on twisty English roads. Well, that could be my last drive of this amazing little car. It was called the classless car. In the swinging 60s, it was the car for celebrities to have. Everyone from the Beatles to Twiggy, Paul Newman, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, they were all at the wheel of one of these. I don't know what the real secret of its success has been. My own view was that it was great fun and it was really affordable, something that the owners of the new Mini should take into account when they price it. But I think the biggest thing of all is it just puts a smile on your face. And I'll tell you something, we'll never ever see the likes of this car again, or the success that it's enjoyed. And because of that, I'm going to go and have just one more last drive. Bye.
Well, the old Mini sadly had to end somewhere, but now we've got the new Mini and have managed to track down the designer, Franco Stephenson. I said that with an Italian twang. How are you, Franco?
Very well. Thank you very
Now,
much.
the new Mini, has it been very well received so far?
It has been. I mean, we have the experience from a couple of weeks ago in Paris, and it's just repeated itself today. It's been very emotional and a very big day for all of us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Was it a little more special coming along to England because, you know, it's a firm British favourite, so was you quite excited about today?
Yeah, by all means. I was a bit hesitant, not hesitant, but thinking about what the reaction is going to be because, of course, you know, the icon status of the Mini here is pretty big. So it's just, it's been really positive. So the reaction has been good and positive. So we're doing pretty well.
Super. Now, you've completely redesigned it. You started off with lengthening the wheelbase, is that right?
That's it.
And I mean, just run us through a few of the things that's been redesigned. For instance, we've got a double sunroof. That's an interesting feature.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, today's customer, they want more. So obviously the car has to become safer, and at the same time it has to become more comfortable. I mean, the Mini itself was just a sheer joy to drive, but after a couple hours you'd be a bit, you know, go
bit
visit
tired.
the dentist sometimes.
Yeah.
But we've kept obvious details of the old Mini or the original Mini, which make it very unique in the market. So as you can see on the interior, we have the central mounted instrumentation. We have the very light looking interior space right around where the console is here. All these features, the doors, I mean, these are things that only belong on a Mini, so you would never see something like this on another car unless it was a copy of the original Mini. So
Yeah.
we have that license to do it, basically.